Hey, Quiggles, is
Yes,
your hand glowing with an awesome power?
and
Does its burning... Go ahead.
its cry is yelling at me to defeat you.
Take this, my
My
love,
love,
my
my
anger,
anger,
and
and all
all
of
my
our
sorrow.
sorrow.
I know.
Shining finger.
You did it. You watched your first Gundam.
I did. I'm no longer a Gundam virgin.
You're.
I'm.
I'm glad I could take your virginity with Gundam.
Thank
I'm.
you.
I'm. I'm really glad that my wife's home, and I can say that I'm glad I took your Gundam virginity.
Yes.
Um, Welcome. But just start off. How do you feel about it? How do you feel about Gundam in general?
I think I'll lead off with this. I would be fine watching another Gundam anime.
Okay.
I think
Um,
that's like as much of like a glowing recommendation as I could probably like give, because like I don't think G Gundam is perfect by any sense, but like any complaint I have is like probably like nitpicking in the grand scheme of things.
the fact that you didn't get to see the Australia Gundam fight with the Kanga and Rue Gundam, yeah,
Yeah.
that's a big problem in the anime.
Yeah, fuck this anime actually. 0 out of 10. Never
Zero out of
watching
10.
Gundam ever again. Fuck this series.
So, winners, this is last year's stretch goal for Extra Life. We have another one this year, which I already have set up and I'm already working on, hoping we can hit it. I think we'll
Ooh.
do that podcast no matter what,
Mhm.
because this is a me effort, not a you effort.
Oh.
Um, but I wanted you to watch I wanted to pick a silly Gundam because I know you and I talked about it,
Mhm.
and I sent you the list of like, hey, if you're going to watch the Gundam series, this is like chronologically the order to watch it in, so that way it doesn't jump around on you.
Yeah.
And you were like, I think I want to watch them all, and you would do them in release order.
Yeah.
Um,
Just because that's like kind of how I tackle like stuff like One Piece and Jojo. But I kind of
and
do understand that like oh, actually like the first like saga isn't really like the best one. The better litmus test is like this way later one, which I understand that. But like at the same time, the JoJo and One Piece fan inside me is just sort of like, no, start at the beginning. That's where it all began.
and so it was weird. So when I was recommending G Gundam for you, one, I wanted to go, okay, what's something Mark's gonna know well? You're gonna know a shonen anime very well.
Hmm.
Beat for beat, I think you're like, okay, this is a shonen, this is a
Hmm.
it's a kung fu movie. It
It's
also
kind of
tells you
magical girl.
it is kind of magical girl, down to the magical girl Gundam that shows up at the halfway
Yeah.
point. Um, but it also tells a complete like, congratulations, you watched every single Gundam story in watching this one. They
Okay.
will all follow these same beats. They will
Hmm.
all have a similar like story progression and
Hmm.
motives. They kind of change it up. But one of the things like when and I actually got this from the Versus Wolves podcast when they came to like recommending things.
Hmm.
If I were to like recommend a Gundam to you, I'd be like, okay, Mark, do you like Splinter Cell or Metal Gear Solid?
I would probably say like Metal Gear, then like Splinter Cell, but like at the same time, I know nothing about Splinter Cell.
Okay. And that's fine. It's like, would you prefer? Trying to think of like something. Would you prefer PUBG or would you prefer Fortnite?
Fortnite.
Yeah. So that's kind of how I came into the recommendation for this Gundam. Like, I can give you 8 Gundams that are all going to hit the same beats, but if you're like, well, I don't really like boy bands, like, do you prefer boy bands or Linkin Park?
Uh, I mean, in that case, like definitely Linkin Park.
Okay, so that would be like, do you
Old
want to
Linkin
watch
Park,
Gun?
I should say, not the new one.
Oh, I see. I actually like the new Linkin Park, but that's to each their own. Um,
Hmm.
But it's like if I were to show you Gundam Wing and then Iron Blooded
Hmm.
Orphans, you'd be like, Well, those are eerily similar, or then even Gundam 00. It all fits this same motif,
Hmm.
and it just comes to, okay, well, what coat of paint do you want to put on it? Like, like I
Hmm.
said, do you like your boy bands, or do you want it to be like Evanescence's peak, and there will never be a greater band than Evanescence?
I don't know, man. Evanescence, Evanescence is good, but like I am like I'm a huge Green Day guy, so
Yeah. Uh,
I get it. There's like multiple flavors of Gundam anime,
yeah.
and you kind of wanted to like get one that's kind of like the happy medium that would like suit like my taste, knowing me basically. And G
Yes.
Gundam is basically pretty much just that. I know we said that we were going to do the dub, but I actually couldn't find the dub anywhere. I think it's
So
just like really hard to find unless you're like pirating everything, which I didn't pirate, admittedly. I probably should have, but I don't know. Too late for that.
you can,
Sorry.
and so for the dub, no, I watched the sub as well
Mhm.
because I was looking it up. This Gundam in particular is embroiled in like who owns the rights to the dub.
Oh
Um,
yeah. Cuz like I heard it was like Ocean that owns the dub, which is why like all the actors for the dub were like also in like the Mega Man series, but
yeah,
now it's just sort of like I don't think Ocean's a thing anymore. So it's like where do you even find it?
and most of it comes down to like weird Crunchyroll's translation. It's not that it's bad,
Mhm.
but it's like very literal. So
Yeah.
like if you watch it in the dub, he'll be like Kyoji and he'll yell Kyoji,
Mhm.
and it's always like on a key. So it's yelling his name versus yelling brother.
Yeah.
And it's to me it really like kind of
Mhm.
offsets the like whole vibe of his emotional motivations to go through it, to hear
Gotcha.
brother brother bro, and I'm like, oh dude, just yell Kyoji. And some of the voice takes on like
Yeah.
Kyoji are great.
Mhm.
um you can
Is
have a
that
good
what they do
compilation on that.
for Saisaichi? Because he does call uh Domon Aniki. Does he
Yes.
also in the dub just say brother or bro?
Bro. It's
Oh,
it's
okay.
bro.
All right.
Yeah, it's a bro thing. Like big bro. I'm like, oh,
Okay.
this is getting really weird to like big bro territory or step bro territory and some famous online videos.
No. I wasn't even thinking that.
There are some there are some very odd, and like I said, I think it's because they just literally translate it
Mhm.
versus um doing like a more like, hey, this is the spirit of what they're saying.
Mhm.
Let's do it this way because it makes more sense.
Right. I getcha. I do kind of miss like I get that like certain dubs do that now, but I kind of miss like when that was like more commonplace, where they would just like kind of use slang for the time like in the dub. So yeah, I kind of do kind of like the fact that it's just like yeah, Saisaichi and Domon are bros basically, because that was just
Yeah.
kind of like the thing in when was this dubbed, like the early 2000s
Oh,
or like
94. I think it was like 96, 98.
oh, okay. So like earlier than
Oh,
I thought.
2002. 2002. My bad.
Oh, I was
You're right.
right.
You were completely right. I had
I
to
was
scroll down for
completely
that one.
right.
Um, yeah. I wish they would too, and they're starting to do that now.
Mhm.
Like if you watch, like don't watch. I will always say never watch Trigun sub. Just watch it dubbed
Mhm.
because the language doesn't make sense in the sub.
Yeah. Or like I
Um,
guess like a another like really good example that's like kind of more modern would be like Don to Don, where characters definitely do say slang, but also they are teenagers in current day Japan, so of course they would.
oh, have you watched Gai Chaiko the trash anime?
I you call it a trash anime. I haven't watched it, but like I have heard things about it, but you calling it the trash anime
I
does not
I'm
bode
not.
well.
No, it is literally about trash. I'm not joking.
Oh hell yeah.
Yeah, it's about trash. Like,
I for a second I thought you were saying that it was shit.
No, it's really good, but like the guy's like, "You're not gonna crash out on me, man." Like it's got some modern slang, and I'm like, I don't know if I'm
Good.
ready for Gen Z slang in my in my anime.
You've heard people like crash out over the word sus in Nagatoro. Now you get to hear Chris crash out in his trash anime.
In my trash anime.
I can't wait
Oh,
for season 3 of Don to Don to just have Gigi just say skibbity toilet or something.
look, just looking at somebody going like, "Hey, did you watch an episode of Don the Don?" I don't know, 10-gallon wiener. Yeah, I did. Like, like that is just how that's how I ask people, "Are you caught up on Don to Don?" Oh my god, so
Please don't
trash.
do that in the workplace, by the way,
I work on a
listeners.
construction site. Like, if you work on a construction site,
I mean,
totally do that.
I figured you're safe, but like other people don't work on construction sites.
You should go to the
If
office, Mark,
Yeah, if I go to the office and I'm like, "Hey guys, 10-gallon wiener, pure
and then do
beef,
the
Wang."
pose.
Yeah, I do all in the pose. And I say like what they say in the manga instead of like in the anime, but like whatever.
11 minutes into this Gundam anime, we're talking about
Yeah.
everything else. All
Okay.
right.
Back on track. Let
That was-
me let me just talk about G Gundam because I actually do have a little bit of an interesting story concerning the first episode.
Okay.
So I started the first episode on Crunchyroll, basically just like as you do. I am watching it. I'm like, okay, Domon Cashew. This like character looks a little bit familiar. Uh, and I think, and I like see Rain, and I'm like, you don't ring a bell. You barely have any presence, and that maybe like the point or something. And then I get to like near the end of the episode of the first episode where they're in Neo Italy,
Mm-hmm.
and we get like the whole scene of Domon going into his Gundam for the first time. At least in our eyes, it's the first time. It's obviously not for him. But we hear the like Shining Finger music for the first time, and then I'm like, oh shit. I have actually watched this before, but I don't remember anything about it. So I actually do remember like on a previous podcast when we were like kind of hyping up like the charity stream
Mm-hmm.
that I said like I only remember like a Gundam anime like from my past, but I in my mind I always assumed it was the original Mobile Suit. It's not the original Mobile Suit that I watched. It was this one. So I don't remember anything about it. It was literally just the song that like kicked in my memory. But like I don't remember anything else about it. And I'm just like, "Oh my god, I cannot believe that this is the one that like I saw as a kid but don't remember."
And so that makes complete sense. So
hmm
you're a couple years younger than me. You probably would have started
Yeah.
watching in like Toonami in like 2004,
Yeah,
2005.
like my era of like discovering anime was like with Dragon Ball Z on Cartoon Network and whatnot. Like,
And
yeah.
this was so much bigger than like Gundam Wing. When a lot of people go, "What got you into Gundam?" They call them wing nuts because it's like, oh, they watched Gundam Wing, and that's their like that's their gateway. And then a lot of other people were like, "Oh, what's this Dragon Ball Z robot anime?"
Mm,
And that's how you get G Gundam, where they yell out the moves, and it's like you
yeah.
can watch it one for one, like
hmm
either a kung fu movie or an anime. So that makes sense, and
Yeah.
I figured as much.
hmm
Like you would have definitely, because a lot of the big ones like Double O, or it'd been like Double O Wing, Stardust Memory, maybe you would
hmm
have known because like the Double O Gundam is like in anytime you see like a Gundam game coming out, they always show the Double O Gundam or they show the Wing Gundam.
Oh, is that
And
like the
then
fan favorite one?
it is a fan favorite.
Mm.
I will I will pull up a
Gonna
Yeah,
pull up an image for me.
I'll pull up an image for you.
Ooh,
Yeah, here you go. Yeah, you can. Here you go. This is like one of the
wait, where'd you
like.
send it?
Oh, I sent it
Oh,
in the chat. Yeah.
oh, okay.
Um,
Let me
this is like.
give it a look. See. Oh yeah, this kind of looks like if to compare like Gundam to like Pokemon, this definitely looks like it would be like the Charizard of Gundam.
You know what? I that is fair. That is completely fair. Um, yeah, but it like it has the famous like the main character goes, "I am Gundam," and he says it like in the most like, "No, I believe this. My Naruto run will save the universe," like kind of way. Um,
I'd win.
yeah, it's I like it is a fan favorite. Um,
Hmm.
it is not my favorite. But
Shocking.
that being
But
said, all right, so take us off. I typically lead these. This is
mhm.
now your turn. Let's go through
So
this.
I don't want to like just do like a plot summary. I think that would be kind of boring. Plus, considering that like kind of half of what G Gundam is specifically is kind of like a villain of the week style format where
Mm-hmm.
each for like the first half of it, it's basically Domon goes to a different country on the earth that has like a Gundam fighter that he needs to like defeat or somebody else that like is one of his allies, and basically like they do the different fighting styles that you know and love from Gundam. Uh and it sometimes like ties into like a theme or a lesson or a moral or something. I think just like going through each Gundam fight beat by beat is just going to be like kind of boring and I don't want to do that. So instead it's sort of more in line of we kind of have a bit of a checklist that we have to go through because like for the first like few episodes our main like lead for Domon Kashu is that he is basically like going through each country showing them a picture that's been ripped in half of a guy who looks kind of like him and you're never really like and you're not really like told for like multiple episodes who this person is, and he just shows it to the fighter of the week saying, "Hey, have you seen this man?" And they all one by one just go, "Nope, I don't know who that is. Never seen him in my life." And it's just like, "All right, move on to the next place after like the fight is over." And we do that for the first like 5 episodes because it basically goes Neo Italy, Neo America, Neo China, Neo France, and Neo Russia. And the main ones that you need to remember are those latter four because they have the characters who are going to be showing up very regularly. And
They
then we
have
do,
the Z fighters.
yeah,
Those are
they
your
are,
Z fighters.
those are your Stardust Crusaders. And then basically after you get introduced to all of them, you basically are told basically Domon's backstory and why he's doing all of this, and you basically learn, hey, his brother basically got his mother killed, and he is now piloting the Devil Gundam, which is this huge, massively powerful, sick as hell looking Gundam that is basically somewhere in the earth we don't know, or rather, he knows, basically. And then basically, the reason why we only have the lead is because basically that's just kind of a picture of Domon's brother Kyoji that he's just kind of had on him. And the reason he's been going to every country that was in the first 5 episodes was because those were basically countries that were listed on the back of the photo, thinking that, oh, Kyoji's probably there somewhere. No, he's not. And then,
And
yep.
I think before we keep going, because you're right, it is a villain of the. You're right. It's incredibly villain
Mhm.
of the week. Um, Power Rangers esque, but you make your friends, your Stardust Crusaders.
Mhm.
I think one of the big things is, okay, why are the Gundams fighting?
Hmm. It's because they're all like fighting to take control over the universe, as it were, for the next 4 years. It's basically an all-out Gundam battle royale tournament, essentially, where you start off with like all the where basically the entire Earth is your battlefield, and basically out in space are the like colonies, which is basically where like the upper class people live, who
I
basically
love
kind of
the
like,
fact that the colonies are just like the countries floating in
yeah,
space.
it's honestly really funny. And like we'll get into it later, but like in the colony for like Neo America, there's like the Statue of Liberty, and it's just like a massive fucking cannon. Which
The
like, oh boy, that's like got some heavy political undertones to it.
and so I think here is also the like for your backstory and edification of it.
Mhm,
Um, Gundam's primary overarching narrative. I don't care
mhm,
what Gundam you watch, when, where, why. War
mhm.
is bad. The original
Yeah,
series was created right after World War II, where like two suns had just been dropped on Japan,
yeah, pretty much.
and we've seen what happens when mankind goes, "Hey, I'm gonna create this way to stop a war."
Hmm.
Um, and
And it's
that's
just
like
like War Two, basically, and it ends up not being as fun or as like or even just like better than like a war, I guess, in like
if
certain
when
regards.
when you watch if you ever decide that like, hey, you're gonna go through the Gundam like Mobile Suit Gundam
Mhm.
UC or Universal Century timeline, this is called the Future Century is when
Right.
this takes place. Um, they do cover like this is clearly World War II. They have World War One references. They have
Mhm.
Vietnam, Korea. Like they cover almost every conflict that's ever been there.
Yeah.
But for the case of Mobile Fighter G Gundam, the earth has been decimated by wars, and
Mhm.
all the countries kind of came together and said, hey, let's say we send out our best fighters, they fight, and whoever wins that battle will cut down on all of the like casualties, friendly fire, anything like outside of it. um, and we'll just do these fights, and we'll all come together and say, okay, your
Mhm.
guy won, you're in charge of. They do say universe. I think they
Mhm.
say like solar system or sphere, right? Or outer sphere,
Yeah.
whatever it
I
was.
kind of figured it was just going to be like the planet and like what surrounds the planet. Because like how
Yeah.
the fuck are you gonna be like the ruler of the entire universe?
It just sounds cooler. I mean, it has
Yeah,
to be
it
rule of a
does.
solar system.
Kind of like how we have like a Miss Universe pageant. Like we don't know what fucking Jupiter is hiding.
Yeah, they could have Liara on Jupiter. Like, how are we supposed to stand up to Liara?
Hmm.
Um, and there are some rules. So I actually have the wiki pulled up.
Yeah.
So for these fights, because we like Mark said, it's like 47 episodes of one-on-one fights, and then they go to
Hmm.
like the story.
Yeah.
Um, It's number or the following are the 7 articles of the Gundam Fight International Regulations. 1. A unit whose head section has been destroyed is disqualified. 2. A Gundam fighter must never aim at the cockpit of an opponent's Gundam. Accidental harm inflicted on a Gundam fighter during a match is acceptable. 3. A Gundam fighter may repair any damage to their Gundam as often as they desire and move on to the Championship League as long as the head section has not been destroyed. 4. A Gundam fighter must take full responsibility for protecting their own Gundam. 5. A match shall only be held on a one-on-one basis. 6. A Gundam fighter shall not taint the honor and dignity of the nation they are representing. And 7. The Earth is the ring. The destruction of property on Earth due to the Gundam fight is not considered a crime.
Hmm. And I'm
Um,
glad this is gonna sound really weird, but I'm glad that they specify some of the early rules that like the head has to be intact. Because one question that I've always kind of had in the back of my mind about Gundam that kind of sounds morbid is why do the Gundams have heads? Because it just kind of sounds like it would just like get in the way, especially since like the cockpit is in like the stomach area or chest region.
To answer that one for you, it's because like
Mhm.
the premise behind the Gundam was the ultimate weapon is mankind. So when you
Oh.
created a weapon that was like a bigger, more powerful version of a human, you give it a head. But I know they touch on this in a lot of mechas.
Mhm.
Front Mission Evolved does a really good one where in the tutorial the big villain shows up to like humble you and push you back to the actual start point of the game,
Mhm.
and you block your body and he goes, you're a veteran because you don't make the mistake of blocking the camera where your eyes are. You protect your core because
Mhm.
you know that's where you are. And
Yeah.
that's one of the ways you tell a good pilot or like a professional pilot versus somebody who's new and just jumped into it for the first time.
Yeah. It's again, it's kind of like a morbid question to ask because like I do have a friend who like kind of writes his own like sci-fi stuff, and he does like have like robots involved, and the robots do have heads, and I'm just like, why do they have heads? That sounds why not just like put all of their senses into like their chest area and just like give them like a camera on the front and back or something. I don't know. But like I'm glad like here it's like kind of more or less for like a tournament regulation kind of deal, cuz like yeah, no duh, if you don't have a head, you can't really like compete in like a regular like fighting tournament. Even though I don't think any IRL ones like have to deal with that kind of thing.
Yeah, it's for this one it does make a lot more sense to uh it makes sense here for like the martial art aspect of it
Mhm.
to give it a head. And there's whole topics like we can have versus like a Gundam or a mobile suit versus like a mecha design.
Yeah.
Um, something like the on the lines of what you would see in Mech Warrior
Mhm.
or even Warhammer 40K
Yeah.
or Mech Assault or
Mhm.
BattleTech is what it's called.
Yeah.
Um,
That's what
just
Super
different.
Robot Wars is for.
Yes. Oh yeah. My Man Kaiser fight against a Gundam. Um, so we have,
so
as you said,
basic
go
so
ahead.
basically like going back to like the story, we do have kind of our main group of 5, which is Nolan Cashew from Neo Japan, Chibody Crockett or Chibode Crockett as they say in the sub. Uh George Descend from France, Argo Bolsky from Russia, and Sai Saichi from China. And they all kind of have like their own reasons for like entering the tournament and wanting to win it all. Uh and it's and they're all like really good characters, I should say. I should say that like my least favorite out of all of them, which is like George Desand, I think isn't like a bad character. It's just a character kind of wanna where I kind of wanted more to see more from them,
He
which
just
is
wants
kind
to
of
be a knight.
yeah, he just wants to be a knight, and I think that's kind of boring. Even though I do kind of like the idea of like a Gundam pilot being nobility, essentially.
It's a good one. I
Mhm.
like my personal favorite is the Bolt Gundam. Um,
Yeah.
I think Argo Bolsky is probably like my favorite, or like probably my favorite character from this.
Mhm.
Um, as far as like his motivations and like how he
Mhm.
gets here and like his own personal growth throughout the
Yeah,
series.
I love his backstory, honestly. Like we learn about it a bit in the Neo Canada episode, where it's basically him versus the Neo Canada guy, and you basically learn that he was like a space pirate at one point, and he basically like is currently like a prisoner in Neo Russia. But like you kind of learn like in his past he wasn't really like that much of a bad person. In fact, like he actually tried to save the wife of the Neo Canada guy, but Neo Canada just thinks that oh, he's the reason why she is dead, which is like goddamn. That's kind of dark, but I kind of like it.
It, yeah, and it does such a good job, and then you also get to see, and I think his episode really shows off.
Mhm.
Um, what Gundam a Gundam fight is. Like a Gundam fight isn't just when they're in the Gundam. For that, like Domon gets thrown in jail, and
Yeah.
the Neo Russia guy, we don't know who he is like, "Oh, I'll help you get out of
Mhm.
here, and we'll break out together." And like, kind of tries to get Domon killed in jail
Yeah. Honestly, if I
because
didn't
that counts as a win.
yeah, if I didn't know from just like all of the like promotional art for it that's like plastered all over Crunchyroll and whatnot, I would have assumed that what's her face? Nastasha was actually going to be the Neo Russia fighter, but she's not. Because like everything in the episode kind of does like point to her being the Bolt Gundam pilot, but it's actually like Argo who it is.
I think I would have actually liked it more if she ended up being the pilot towards the end of it too,
Mhm.
because she's
I like her a lot. Like I wasn't like that big on that many of like the companion characters to our main five, or I'm just gonna call them the Shuffle Alliance from now on because that's like what they're called, like in the show. But I definitely thought like she was probably the best one behind Rain.
yeah. Um,
Hmm.
Yeah, Rain. So I think we should talk about that. Like, Rain is Domon Kashu's childhood friend,
Hmm.
whose father helped build the
Shining
Rising Gundam and
Gundam.
the Shining Gundam, uh,
Hmm. Did
and
it say that
is
they were boyfriend and girlfriend at the beginning? I feel like they did.
they were always childhood friends. It
Okay.
does like the childhood like, hey, we knew each other in school and we kind of drifted apart, and I think
Hmm.
it was they liked each other, but then everything happened that kicked off the story, and
Yeah.
she just I think she actually gets told to go with him. Like
Hmm.
she would have volunteered, but she's told like that Rain is going to be your support for the Gundam, because she in herself is one a doctor and then two a brilliant engineer.
Yeah. Which she like really does have it all. And like I wasn't that big on her like very early on in the series just because like half of the episodes that she was in was mostly just like kind of her bickering with Domon and just kind of having the attitude of like, man, am I right?" And I think that was just kind of like it kind of got old after a while. But once you like get her backstory, which happened in I'm pretty sure the Neo Turkey episode,
Yes.
where she's like healing up like an old friend of hers that like Domon has to fight. And I honestly like kind of my opinion was like, okay, not the best first impression, but I feel like that was also kind of on purpose because it does like kind of inform her character like from this point forward.
And as someone like for you, you haven't watched like have you watched a lot of like kung fu movies, like
Not
old
really.
Jackie Chan?
Not really.
Her character's a trope. If you ever
Mhm.
watch like Kenichi, the world's mightiest disciple, there's always like the female character, and it's not men, it's just them because they're so stubborn. And like
Yeah.
Domon Kashu has that very stubborn martial
Mhm.
artist like Chi, or I don't want to compare him to Goku and Cheetah, like Vegeta
Mhm.
and Bulma, where it's like you know Vegeta cares about Bulma, and Bulma's like, "God,
Yeah.
like it's not men, it's you. You are the problem."
I think I can also like kind of compare it. God, I don't want to compare it to JoJo, but I do kind of see that with like part 8, the main JoJo and the main Joe girl or Joho, I guess is how it's called in the fandom, but whatever. Cuz it's also very much like they're you can kind of tell they're kind of like in love with each other, but like the main like JoJo of that part is just kind of like trying to just find his way in the world, whereas like the main girl is just kind of weirded out by him at first.
Mhm.
But yeah, I can totally tell like it's probably like just a trope kind of thing. And I am ultimately like happy that Rain actually like got more depth to her like as the show went on. I should also say that like for the entire like main cast, I never like had my opinion on any of them lowered at any point. Like I definitely think that they kind of benefit from being in the show continually.
I would agree with that. There are some Gundam has some inconsistencies with how they write characters,
Mhm.
even to the point where they do a we killed off a character, but he had a secret twin brother who's even better. Um, is a
Including this
plot
one.
point. It is a plot point in a series. Oh no, but this one's the older brother. No, this is I'm literally talking soap opera. But my
Uh
twin brother. Oh, I'm his twin brother. I've been away. I was just hiding here because I didn't want to be a part of it, but I was actually better than him at everything, and it's that level of bad. Um,
okay.
uh, this one you're right. Like every
Mhm.
character, by the end of it, we get to see, okay, who are they? And you could easily do a backstory, or you could see them creating this show, with the exception, I think, of George. You could see them
Mhm.
creating a show around them and
Yeah.
who they were before and what led them here.
Yeah. I think also probably like Sai is probably also there with George, but also Saichi's a kid.
Yeah,
So
he
like this is the
this
start of his story. I would
yeah, this
love a
is
sequel series with him. I am the number one Saichi enjoyer here. Damn it.
I I'll look it up real quick. Uh
Oh, does he actually like appear in another Gundam show?
no, but there was talk of a uh they're fan-made concepts.
Ah,
And they've talked about doing a bit of a sequel series.
okay.
Um there's there hasn't been one yet because the whole idea is like, okay, well, but what happens because like this as we'll get into it when we get into like, okay, but what's the villain? What's actually going on here?
Mm,
It does leave some really good questions for it.
yeah.
Um, so you got Rain, we did the Turkey episode,
Hmm.
and then you finally get to meet. So after you meet the people that like have come in contact with the Devil Gundam, and because they have DG cells.
Yeah, the Devil Gundam cell. Which is kind of a wild, like I get it, like the Devil Gundam like has like this terrible influence on people. It's kind of like the main like thing that my brain went to was Gygus from Earthbound, where he has like this insane influence on others. And that's kind of just what this kind of reminded me of. And I love Earthbound, and I love Gygus as a villain, so I'm down for the DG cells.
Um, eh, I liked him. I liked the premise with them because it kind of starts off
Mhm.
as like cartoonishly evil because I even before that, like they have they go to Egypt, and we're gonna
Mhm.
fight the current fighter, but then the long dead Mummy Gundam gets resurrected because of the Devil Gundam cells.
Yeah.
Um, and then once Noble Gundam of England, is corrupted by the Devil Gundam cells, so on and so
Mhm.
forth. Um,
Yeah, I
but
think they like do like lead into it like pretty well because like the first couple of like episodes it's just like not a thing. But then like it slowly becomes more and more prevalent as it goes on to the point where it kind of all comes or it mostly comes to a head like kind of in the middle of the season where basically you're in the Guyana Highlands with
mhm.
Domon or not in the no, I'm getting ahead of myself. It's basically in Neo Japan with Domon. I think in Shinjuku, was it?
Yes,
Okay. Yes. Neo
where
Shinjuku, where we meet basically Master Asia, and
the
he's
undefeated of the East. Give him his credit. The man is
yes,
undefeated.
the undefeated under of the East, Shisho himself, fucking Master Asia, the original King of Hearts. And he honestly, I somewhat expected him to like have that heel turn of like being evil and crazy and whatnot. But I kind of was hoping, like, no, please just be like the coolest, like, mentor character ever. Because he does like a lot of work, and I'm just like, oh, there's no way this dude is like on our side for the rest of the series.
He is your like, oh, this character shows up in your RPG and is in your party, and you're like, what are all these abilities?
Yeah, he really is like I would like compare him to something like, and I hate to like just play the comparison game, but like he's kind of like Sephiroth in Final Fantasy VII
Oh,
in the
see, I was
sense
gonna
of
go. Oh no,
just like
Sephiroth was on your team, wasn't he?
yeah, in the Niflheim flashback. And like he can just do like all this like crazy shit. He has like the weapon that like always crits, the Masamune, and he's just like so cool, y'all. And then it's just like, oh wait, he's actually the bad guy. And like it is different here because I'm pretty sure it is like kind of obvious that Sephiroth is the bad guy from the very beginning of FF7, whereas uh Undefeated of the East is supposed to be more of like a heel turn, essentially.
And I think like Sephiroth, like the all black makes him there,
Hmm.
but here, like you get the reunion with Domon. So this is actually also a big trope within a lot of kung fu is the master shows up out of nowhere to rescue the pupil because the pupil's going through it, and to like put it to you this way, like the Dark Army, which by the way they're just Zaku's with actual eyes,
Hmm.
so that is what they are and where they're from there. Um, he shows up and is just like, "Hey, I have a sash, and I'm using this sash as a human and wiping out Gundams." Like he
Hmm.
is so strong that it's just
He just
him
dog
by
walks
himself.
everything. Like, no joke. He just like dog walks the entirety. Like, if he was on our side, this entire anime would be done like by episode 20, if that. It would be over before it even starts, honestly. Because like you can't convince me that like he could have just like defeated the Devil Gundam like immediately if he was just against it from the beginning.
He yeah, his fight of the like that army, like when he shows up and you get to see like, oh, this is Domon, um 20 years later with all of the training that and like mastery. uh I absolutely love it. Like I thought he was
Mhm.
such a cool character to introduce
Mhm.
personally there. But so you picked up right away that like I guess you've watched enough, so you picked up right away it's like, this
So
doesn't
no,
feel
I didn't
right.
actually remember any of like the plot points from G Gundam when I was a kid.
Okay.
So I kind of figured, okay, this guy's either gonna turn out to be evil because that would be like the most devastating thing ever, or he's gonna like die immediately. And it turned out to be the first one. So I kind of made my bet there, but like I didn't like bet all my money on it, even though I probably should have.
Yeah, All In on Evil Master was a good one, and you
Hmm.
even get to see the cool change from his like Neo, because he was Neo China's original winner.
Hmm. Was it Neo China or
um
Neo Hong Kong? I
not,
thought.
Neo Hong Kong, like
Yeah,
potato potato. I At this point they are different, but yeah.
yeah.
um but yeah, so you get to see him, the betrayal, the heart wrench,
Hmm.
and
And then
then you get to go ahead.
you get the rest of the Shuffle Alliance, our Sai Chi, Chibity Crockett, Georgia Sand, Argo Bolski. They all get corrupted by the Devil Gundam cells. And so now it's just Domom versus pretty much the entire world is against him. And it's like probably the lowest point of like Domon as a whole, I would say.
So and the Shuffle Alliance did exist
Hmm.
um it became the characters that like the crew became the Shuffle Alliance.
Yes.
What was your opinion on meeting the Shuffle Alliance?
I thought these guys are also like cool as hell. These guys are probably also, so I kind of did call it essentially by saying uh undefeated of the East is either going to like die immediately or turn evil,
Mhm.
because undefeated of the East turned evil. Everybody else died immediately, so that way our current cast could basically get their own crests on their hand for like Ace of Clubs, Queen of Spades, Jack of Diamonds, and Black Joker.
Uh,
They
yes,
did
okay,
have like
sorry.
really cool they did have like really cool designs for both like the characters and the Gundams. And I was kind of hoping like they wouldn't die immediately. They just like kind of act as kind of mentor figures for the rest of our cast for a little bit, maybe even just like for an episode. But I do understand like they sacrifice themselves so that way like our current cast can be freed from the DG cells.
They MacGuffin save the
Yeah.
new Shuffle Alliance. So I actually super love the like Shuffle Alliance crests. Like
Oh,
I
for
have thought
sure.
about getting that tattooed on my hand. Um,
Oh, which
I
one
don't
would
know
you go
which.
for?
Um, so I'm kind of torn on that. I'd probably go for Argobolski's.
Hmm.
Um, but I did real like I think what is it? The Queen of Diamonds is Chibity.
Uh,
Um,
I think he's the Queen of Spades. I'm pretty
is it the
sure.
Queen of Spades?
Yeah,
Yeah,
because
I
I
think I
think
would
like
do
it's like
the
Jack of Diamonds for Georgia Sand.
yeah, and I think I would probably do it's Black Joker
Hmm.
is
The Black Joker one's really cool.
yeah, and I think that's the one I would go to just because of how much I like Argo Bolski and I really like the 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 Blitz Gundam. Um
Hmm.
but yeah, it's or I'm sorry, the Bolt Gundam. I'm mixing up my Gundams now.
Also,
Uh
oh my god,
but
I'm looking at his profile on the wiki. I didn't know this motherfucker was only 26 years old.
oh, Argo?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no,
He looks like he's in his 40s. He looks older than us.
I wish for yeah, I wish
I wish I was built like that. God damn.
yeah, yeah, go do like it's those Russian genes.
Yeah.
Um yeah, I absolutely I love his design, the ripped shirt, the camo,
Mhm.
or the green, the every time that he gets into a fight and he breaks the chains, oh,
Yeah.
that is
Honestly, chain
I
breaking is like probably like the coolest thing you could ever do as an anime character.
and so like and I when we get to the end of this, we're gonna do after we get through like the story, we're gonna go through some aesthetic stuff because
Mhm.
much like JoJo, I feel like 96% of G Gundam is also, hey, wouldn't this be cool though?
Yeah. Honestly, yeah, it is kind of just like there's a lot of just rule of cool just going on in G Gundam. Like I do remember that there was a fight like that comes way later on where like Domon's Gundam, which is like he trades it out for the God Gundam, which is what the G
Mhm.
and G Gundam stands for, I assume. Uh and he's just like able to multiply himself, and I'm just like, this is never coming back up ever again, isn't it? But it's goddamn awesome that he has this ability just in his back pocket.
Yeah, it's it's like some of the techniques that were in
Mhm.
that are actually just in I'm trying to think about this in Dragon Ball Z
Yeah.
where it's like are we going to touch that again? You're just going to spit out some ghosts? No? All right, next episode, next 150 episodes, let's go.
Yeah. Honestly, I know you said you like just started watching JoJo and you can't wait to get to the parts that have stands in them. Be prepared for a lot of that. Is all I'm gonna say.
Oh, just you have this power, it goes away.
Hmm. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, you can experience pain extremely slowly. Okay, that's never gonna show up ever again, but it's terrifying that you can do that.
I'm excited for it. Um, so
But
we
yeah.
the Shuffle Alliance gets taken care of.
Hmm.
Shaves the new Shuffle Alliance, and then we go to the training arc,
And that's in the Guyana Highlands, which is in South America. And it's
which
basically we started off with just like an episode. Actually, no, we need to like talk about the introduction of another new character to our cast, which is Schwarzbruder in Gundam Spiegel from Neo
Schwartz
Germany.
Bruder, the oh, it's Char. It,
Hmm.
it's it's Char because it's the masked person. Um, so this is the other thing. Every Gundam, there's a
Hmm.
character that wears a mask. They are all to be Char, the Red
Hmm.
Comet of the original series. They are always stand in for like dubious motives,
Right,
but it's
but not this time.
it's the ends justify the means dubious, not necessarily
Right.
the like, oh, they're just a bad guy.
Hmm.
So yeah, that's what you get with like Char. That's what you get with a lot of other of those characters that do come in.
Hmm.
But yes, Schwarzbruder. How did you feel about Schwartzy Boy?
I'm just like this dude. This dude is Sentai inspired as fuck, isn't he? Because like he's always like in his uniform. He always has
Yep.
like his mask on. And I
Mm-hmm.
kind of figured like he would be, I don't want to say like another brother of Domon, or just like my my first like theory was that he was going to be Master Asia's pupil before he met Domon, because it was implied that he had other pupils before him.
Uh-huh.
Um I was wrong on that kind of. So I honestly did kind of like that he was like the actual mentor to Domon instead of Master Asia, because again, I feel like having Master Asia like on our side would just end the plot immediately. So I did see that like he was like kind of mysterious and everything, and I wasn't spoiled on anything that like regarding his actual identity, which we'll get to, but I did really like enjoy his presence and everything. I did like the fact that he was someone who was able to basically call out Domon, and was one of the few people who could actually like back up calling him out in like combat basically.
It and so this is where we're going to get into this is going to bring into my biggest gripe within Dragon Ball Z. And this is going to bring in my biggest gripe with a lot of the way shonen does things.
Hmm.
Um and probably one of the best things that I've seen so far in One Piece. Um the key thing when it comes to a lot of like kung fu movies, if you watch like a fighting movie, they always tell you that like rage and being angry, like people like, oh, I'm so much stronger, but typically at that point
Don't
you're
let
not
your
in
rage get
control.
a control of you.
Yeah, you literally like you'll feel like you're putting out more energy, and you are,
Hmm.
but it's also because, well, you're just using more energy in a like not very efficient, not very like useful way.
Yeah.
Um and like Dragon Ball Z, when it's like, oh, Goku finally hits Ultra Instinct, and it's like, oh, this is a technique, and it's like the technique is getting there,
Yeah.
but once you hit it, you should be in this. And so they always do like the ripple or the water dropping on
Hmm.
the pond in the still water, and then all the things that bring Domon Kashu peace, so that way he can act like access his true ascended self, versus Luffy when he just turns off his brain and
Hmm.
dodges all of
And else.
Enel's movements and does Ultra Instinct 20 years before Goku does.
Yeah, eat your
um
heart out, Dragon Ball.
yeah, took you forever to get there. So I do love the fact that everything that Master Asia taught Domon, he Schwartz never goes, hey, that stuff's useless, don't use it.
Yeah.
He's just like, the energy that you're putting into it and how you're using it is what's the problem, and that's what we're trying to fix here with this training.
Mhm.
Go ahead. How did you feel? How do you like a training arc? I actually don't think I've ever asked you that.
I can get down with some training arcs. It just kind of like depends on the execution, obviously, but I do like a good training arc, and I do like the fact that like these episodes, they kind of start off with just okay, each member of the Shuffle Alliance gets their own episode where they basically kind of have to think of their own technique that kind of has something to do with whatever like problem that they're facing. Like I think the one that immediately comes to mind is George Desand's episode where basically he's trying to develop a new technique, but he is basically getting like PTSD from having like the Devil Gundam cells like on him for a bit. And I honestly found that like kind of really compelling, and also does kind of just show that yes, war is bad. This is what happens in war, people.
You get some PTS and it doesn't go
Yeah.
away and it fucks with you in weird ways.
Mhm.
Um, so I'm gonna sit here and tell you that George Desand's like technique is my like least favorite
I can see that.
because the whole he uses the rose petals or the bits,
Mhm.
which is what the new types can use in the original Gundam series, and it's the thing that like separates them and makes them so much stronger because they can just like subconsciously will those things around, and when they're fighting it's like I'm swinging, my beam saber at you, and I'm not
Mhm.
going like, oh, bit shoot, like, or bit go around here and do this. I just feel the bit, and the bit's like another extension, and I've got like 5 of them that you also need to defend against while you're
Yeah.
also doing this. And that's I
Mhm.
I feel like for this series, it's the only one that I'm like, if it would have been like the rose petals went out and then he did like a single thrust with the rapier or something with the weapon that he used, I'd have
Mhm.
been like, "Oh, that's really cool." But
Yeah.
it just felt like they were really cheapening
Mhm.
what makes Gundam pilots so powerful in the original series.
Yeah. Though I can like honestly see it as like kind of like entry hazards essentially,
Mhm.
because that is like a very like strong move, I think. One that like I think would honestly be insanely effective in like one of these kinds of fights. But we also like rarely ever see George Desand fight, honestly, because he doesn't have that many like fights just dedicated to him. Because I think it's just like what it was Neo England, and like that's another thing. His fights are mostly against Neo England and
His mentor,
Domon.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then it has the flashback to the knight that would have beat, or the guy that would have beaten him originally.
Hmm. Which I
Um,
also find that like kind of like a really like good backstory, essentially. Even though that's like it's like, all right, no wonder like this old guy didn't get it. He was very clearly fine with just killing civilians.
ah, acceptable losses.
Damn.
Yeah, look, Total War's a thing, man. I don't know.
I okay,
Um,
yeah, I get it, but like it's just kind of a case of like, okay, sore loser, I guess.
oh no, incredibly so. Um, and that comes up, that's also a thing in later in other Gundams where it's like, hey, is a civilian soft target acceptable? Well, the US's World War II strategy would say yes, it is.
Hmm.
Yes, it is. Everywhere else would go no, it should be a military hard confirmed target.
Yeah.
Um,
I will wonder like who has like what like franchise has like the bigger like war crime count between this and Fire Emblem. Probably this one.
oh, definitely this one, and that's only because you're on like a cosmic scale. I'm
Yeah.
very early in a lot of the Fire Emblems, and there aren't a lot of war crimes in those yet.
Yeah, but each game has at least one, let's be honed.
Oh, the
You do
first one,
recruit
maybe.
You do recruit a child in every single Fire Emblem game.
Okay, that's a whole other Gundam topic that we can go into one day. That's two other shows that's like every other show I need you to watch. Um, I think honestly, canonically, I think this is the cast with the oldest cast.
Oh yeah.
Most Gundam series, the pilot is 14 to 16 years old.
Oh.
Um, because much like in Don to Don, like a child is able to adjust a lot easier to whatever it takes to pilot this.
hmm That
Um,
that's honestly really fucked because like that's still like kind of a child like
oh
going to
yeah,
war.
yes. There
hmm
are two series that are like almost identical Gundam series, and they just tackle it in slightly different ways. But yeah, even
Yeah.
Amuro Ray is like 14 or 15 when the events of the original Gundam happen.
Gotcha.
And he gets field drafted. Um, okay, so we go through the training.
hmm
What's the biggest thing that we learn in the training? Hey, stop being angry all the time, Domon.
Yeah. You have to like because it's very much like his anger is basically like controlling him, and for like a fight or two, like getting angry does actually work for him. So he does kind of feel like, okay, if I just get angry, then I'll like unlock like the like upgraded powers of like the Shining Gundam,
The
basically.
the Super Saiyan mode,
Yeah, the Super Saiyan mode, where like he just turns gold.
and his hair
He
goes
gets
gold. Yeah.
yeah he gets all seven of the Chaos Emeralds.
Um, And and I think that's one of those cool things, and I think it's done in the Goku Black arc,
Mhm.
where Vegeta is gonna fight and train, new Future Trunks, and he's
Yeah.
like, "Hey, go into Super Saiyan 3." And he's like, "No, Super Saiyan 3 is this worthless form where you put out a lot of energy, but you also like, the amount you put out versus the amount you consume the ratio's not good. Super
Yeah.
Saiyan 2, there's a reason it's called Ascended Saiyan. Super Saiyan 1, you're putting out a lot more energy and you've like magnified yourselves tenfold. Then
Mhm.
you get that bulky form where it's like you're really strong but slow if you hit something, and then you get Ascended Saiyan.
Yeah.
And that's the big thing here is that like sure, Domon can be like, hey, here's all the power in the universe, but if I can't hit anything, it doesn't matter.
For sure. It's very much a like again, he was just kind of like going off of like some of his previous fights where he got angry and was able to like squeeze out the win. But
Mhm.
like he needed to learn very like kind of like if not the easy way then the hard way that just getting angry alone isn't just going to like guarantee you the win. And that's also just kind of like an unhealthy way to fight.
Probably also not good for your blood pressure to be that angry all the time.
Oh, for sure, it is not.
As someone who's in their 30s and was like, "Yeah, I gotta start worrying about stuff like that."
hmm
Um, now I to ask the big question is this is also where we get, as per every Gundam, this is where we get the Gundam change. We go from the Shining Gundam to the titular God Gundam.
Yep. I was
How do
sad
you
to see the Shining Gundam go, but I did kind of feel like it would have been kind of crazy to just give it like 500 different forms and also would probably not help the magical girl comparisons that were going on in my head. Um yeah, but like cuz you have like in Sailor Moon like each season she gets like a new transformation with a new power that stops the villain of the week. And I don't think that really works for Gundam. I think like having the Gundam replaced halfway through and that's like your big upgrade. I think that's like better for this like franchise. I say as somebody who has only seen one anime in this 30 anime franchise, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, it's like we can go through it, and it happens every series.
hmm
And most people have like their favorite Gundam.
Yeah.
Um,
I do like
uh,
the God Gundam though. especially because like the erupting Godfinger music that you get with it, I think that's like my favorite song in the entire score.
Oh, it's a good one.
Yeah.
And the animation change, how like the gauntlet slides up and
Mhm.
like it's like reinforcing how hot the finger is this time
Mhm.
versus the original shining finger.
And I love like
Um
the flash of the King of Hearts crest,
on the
which he
chest piece.
yeah. I'm just like, "Oh,
and
that's so cool."
and then the wings, I guess,
Mhm.
the like eight the path of eight sage or the eight whatever
Mhm.
the Naruto path is.
Which is like I know it's like inspired by like something from like Japanese folklore, but I'm blanking on it right now.
I can't remember. I think it's actually one of the kitsune or the foxes, if I'm not mistaken, but
Maybe.
I could be wrong. Um, but so Domon gets his new Gundam,
Mhm.
has to fight the Devil Gundam for what, the second time?
Yeah. So basically he does actually like he is actually like able to defeat the Devil Gundam here, and I'm just like, wow, what's the rest of this anime gonna be about without the Devil Gundam? My dumbass thought.
Yeah, no, Devil Gundam's over here in this completely abandoned
Mhm.
wasteland that we know about right over there.
And
Um,
Kyoji, our brother who basically got our mother killed, we're just gonna kill him like kind of unceremoniously, and I'm just like, okay, are we really done here? Because that's very anticlimactic.
eh, that's how most things are. Like you just shoot them and they go away.
Yeah,
That's the American way.
just just use the God finger on it, and all your problems just go away. You know?
Now, one of the cool things also here is, all the Gundam heads that come out?
Hmm.
Those are all designed Gundam heads from other series. So like the Wing
Oh.
Gundam is just a head that's there. The original Gundam head, the new Gundam head, like, and all their like subtle details, they just put it on the Devil Gundam. But yeah,
Mm.
it has a bunch of different Gundam heads, including some that were like only in light novels, some that were concepts that'll come out later. So like
Hmm.
if you freeze frame a lot of those, you'd be like, oh, that's the Gundam Wing. Oh, that's this Gundam, and it's a really cool like send
Hmm.
off for a lot of the
Yeah,
fans.
I was actually like kind of wondering like if there was like kind of like any kind of fan service with all the extra Gundam heads that were like involved, because I initially thought that like for when we were in Neo Russia, like doing the prison breakout, there was like part of the prison that was just like, oh, here's a bunch of retired Gundams, and I thought that would have been like the area where you put like a bunch of like the old like Gundams from like the previous like animes, but I imagine that's still the case, but it's just like with some like the more minor characters or maybe the villains, and then you get to the Devil Gundam, and that's all like, oh, these are like the major shit your pants. These are part of the Devil Gundam kind of protagonist ones.
Boy, will we get there because there's a lot of fan service towards the end
Yeah.
of this as far as like your Gundams go.
Yeah.
Um, so get the God Gundam.
Hmm.
We
We see
uh
a bit of Schwartzbruder's actual face, and it does look kind of like Domon and Kyoji's, which is why I kind of thought, okay, does he actually have like another brother, like Luffy, basically?
oh yeah,
Which
his
I'm
giant bead
glad
that
is
sticks out.
not the case, actually.
Oh, God, I love Schwartzbruder.
He's really good.
Um, and then of course it's the race to get there on time, right? So
Hmm.
God Gundam has to like fly into space
In order to
to
get to Neo Hong Kong for the actual like finals of the tournament, or like they call it the finals, but it's really just like, all right, there's
the
not that
semi.
many of you left, so let's just put you all in one place.
Yeah, it's like the semifinals.
Hmm. And
Um,
even then, like you have characters who like lose a match, but they're not like out of the tournament. So I imagine it's more like a round robin kind of deal.
so that's where it gets kind of interesting because so spoilers, on his way there, Domon gets attacked by Neo England, Neo Italy, and
Hmm.
Neo. Turkey?
No, it's not Neo Turkey. It's one of the other ones. I
Was it Neo
forget which.
France?
No, Neo France is on our side.
No, the other Neo France, the one that was disqualified originally.
No, it might have. It was Neo England. Was it Neo Canada? No,
No, it
surely
wasn't Neo
not.
Canada.
Was it?
Um,
It wasn't Neo India because that's like one of the
that's one of the later ones.
people. Yeah,
Double Alliance. God, I hate
Neo
fandom so
Nepal.
much. Are you on fandom too?
Yeah, I am too.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, I don't think the anti fandom thing works anymore, which makes me sad. I think because it's Neo Italy. Was it Neo Greece?
Uh, had disqualified. All right, hold on. Oh, it was Master Asia. It was Asia back in the Master Gundam,
Okay.
Niccolo, and Chapman. Okay. Oh, my bad. Sorry.
Okay. I thought it was like another like minor antagonist.
Yeah, it's weird. So the three people that Domon has now beaten of his own accord,
Hmm.
uh, are all like trying to stop him on his way back. We get to see Master Asia on is it Fukochi or Funasaiki,
Yeah,
who
food.
is his Gundam horse. It's not important to the story, but it's really cool, and we're gonna bring it
It
up.
again, it's rule of cool.
It's that's half the show.
Yeah.
Um, And honestly, at this point, I think like we do get the characters kind of having their own like crises of faith.
Hmm.
And I feel like George DeSands happened in the Highlands, but
Yeah.
everyone else kind of gets their thing here. So like one of the big plot points is Saishi falling in love
Hmm.
with the
I love
opponent's
that
kid
one.
sister.
Yeah. It's a really cute episode, honestly. Which honestly I do wish that like we had like more episodes of that were just centered around the different members of the Shuffle Alliance. Because I don't think Argo actually like gets one here. Because I
All of his are tied in with the Neo Canada.
hmm
And as much as I would love him to be like the romance budding between him and his partner,
yeah,
I know that'll just like never happen.
it really will not. I didn't even think they were like all that romantically involved, if I'm being honest.
The last episode,
That's fair.
much like the rest of this, the last episode starts to tie in a lot of those.
Hmm.
But you're right. I thought Saichi in Love, where one, because
Hmm.
when he first met Domon, he's sitting there and he pulls out his giant seasoned wok and makes like a stir fry or fried rice,
Hmm.
and then sits here and does the thing where it's like does the Karate Kid thing where there's a girl who's stopping these guys from picking on him, and he's like, "Well, I can do martial arts." Does the martial arts and presses the girl, and then it's just like, "Well, we have to help this person." He's like, "Yeah, sure, I like you. I'll help. What am I helping with?"
And then like you do kind of like feel bad for him because he is in like kind of a really shitty spot because he doesn't want to like defeat like his opponent the next day because that means like this girl he's crushing on is gonna have to leave. But at the same time, his whole goal in all of this is to revive the Shaolin Temple, which like he can't just like give up on that so easily, especially because like I think in this episode like his temple was actually like flying out to come see him. So to just like throw the match just so that way like he gets to be with the girl a little bit longer would kind of be shitty for them, which honestly poor Sai, I feel like he has it like I don't think he like has it the worst in the entire cast in terms of like being in a bad situation, but like he's definitely like kind of up there.
He is the kid, like a
Hmm.
literal kid who's got, his entire like what his father couldn't do. And of course it's like it's also like the will of the nation. So one of the things is like each character has their own motivation, but then it's also like, no, you're essentially electing president. Kick their
Hmm.
asses so that your person can be president, not
Yeah.
even you.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
It's insane, honestly. And
and
all of this to like be thrusted onto a 16-year-old.
oh, is he 16? I thought he was
Yeah, I
younger.
just looked at him. He does look way younger than 16.
Because Domon's only like 18.
He's 20,
He's
apparently.
20. Okay, like I said, this is the oldest. This is the oldest like Gundam cast.
Yeah.
Um, out of all of like I think all of the Gundams, like this is the canonically the oldest.
Mhm.
Um, and then of course we get the next one where your theory that this is seriously just a magical girl anime comes in, where we get the beautiful fighter, the dangerous Allenby.
Yes, Alan B. Beardsley. I love this character. She's my best girl here,
Uh,
admittedly.
what's your all right? So what's your you to Allenby? I'm curious.
Honestly, it really was the magical girl shit, but also I do like genuinely like her dynamic with Domon and Rain, basically. I like the fact that like even after like Domon defeats her, she still like hangs around him because she is like basically kind of like how you would imagine like a female Domon counterpart would actually be. So you do kind of get that, but like they're also just like really good friendly dynamic with each other where she basically does help him fight and help him develop new techniques. But also I do extremely like the berserker element of her where basically during her fight her aides like from her country Bellaman and Holbein is what the wiki is telling me their names are because they don't really get that much screen time.
Yeah, that's fine.
Basically uh she can basically have insane power output, but like she loses control of like what she is doing. So she just like kind of fights indiscriminately. Just whoever she sees, she's seeing them in red and she is just like going to town punching and basically beating the shit out of them. And it's kind of like an insane like wild card to have, which does actually come up again later on. And she does actually like have a lot of guilt like pent up with that, which I think is also very interesting. And on top of that, she's also a magical girl. There's no other way around it. Like this anime, I'm pretty sure it came out like in the mid 90s, like 94, 96. Sounds
94,
about right.
95 is when it came out
Yes.
subbed, yes.
So that would mean that this was like around the time Sailor Moon was super big. And you can insanely tell that like with her design and everything because like she kind of has like a typical like kind of go-getter kind of design typically, but like uh when she's like in her Gundam, she like gets like a huge ribbon on her chest, which is like also something that Sailor Moon has. Her color scheme is mostly blue, but also high accents of white and red, which is kind of an inverse of Sailor Moon's design colors. And she also just like you only see this once, I'm pretty sure, but like when she does get into her Gundam, her whole like transformation sequence where like Domon is just like getting into like his latex suit and you kind of do get like close-ups of him
Hmm.
uh when Allenby gets into her like fighting suit, it's like an entire like Sailor Moon style like magical girl transformation.
Oh, the
It's
the ribbon dance to go
yep.
to get into it.
hmm And I'm also pretty sure that like her whole like ribbon like weapon that she uses, that's also it's not something I think like Sailor Moon actually uses, I'm pretty sure. It honestly isn't. But it is like kind of styled in a way to be like that. And she also does and also her Gundam has like the long flowing blonde hair, kind of like Sailor Venus.
Yes. Sailor Venus, I do think does no. Sailor Mercury uses a ribbon, if I'm not mistaken.
No, Sailor Venus actually kind of does though.
Oh, is it Sailor Venus? Okay.
Yeah, Sailor Mercury's whole shtick is water and
Oh.
ice.
I feel like you could use a ribbon for water. That doesn't matter. Sorry, I was just like googling it and it was telling me no, it's Sailor. That doesn't matter. But yeah, hers is very much the magical girl transformation.
Hmm.
And I think the other big thing is like she fights Argo and beats him. I think what is it? Like she's won every fight within 30 seconds.
Yeah,
So she's clearly like
she's
winning fights
strong.
against the same people Domon is fighting faster.
Hmm.
And I think that's a really big like tale to go into that
But
one
I'm pretty
on.
sure that's also with her like going berserker mode
It
because
is.
yeah, because like the whole thing is that when Bellaman was actually turning on berserker mode, he basically kind of has a control on it where he can basically just turn it off and she's fine.
She has to
So,
sleep.
yeah. But
Um,
this but again, the berserker mode comes back up once again later on. And then we're going to see what happens when somebody just doesn't turn it off.
I also like how she and Domon meet, and
Mhm.
they're like gonna go play a video game, and he goes,
Yeah.
"What about a real fighter?" And she goes, "Oh, you think you're a real fighter?" And I was like, "Oh, that's actually a
Oh,
really
girl.
cool like let's smack talk this."
Mhm.
Um, and I know for me when I was younger, I did not see the romantic side of it until like the
Mhm.
show kind of like smacks you in the face and goes, "No, there is a romantic attraction towards Domon."
I kind of thought about it, but I thought it was just going to be something that like she's just sort of like, yeah, I like him, but I'm not going to like make a move on him or anything. Like she understood boundaries, which is something again, I think the berserker mode kind of brings into light and does actually like smack you in the face with it because she does later on admit in the berserker mode that she's in love with him.
They speak the same love language, punching each other in the face.
Yeah,
Like
they're fight
that's
sexual.
yeah, they're fight sexual.
To steal from Team Four Star, which I was talking a lot of like before this episode started.
Oh, I love me some Team
Mm,
4 Star.
they're
Team
good.
3 Star. Um,
It's not funny. It's
uh,
never going to be funny.
I was just going along with it because I thought you liked it. And then here, so I think now where we get into like the big parts are before we start getting, so we get Allenby, and
Mhm.
now we get to see everyone else show off their secret moves
Yep.
during their fights.
Mhm.
Um, so
Against
for the
whom?
well for let's see, so
Because they
for
all
the
get in. Because our entire Shuffle Alliance gets a new attack, but it's all against Domon,
no
right?
uh no because the
Oh, right.
because Gundam Maxter fights the clown, and that's how we learned
Mhm.
that like his parent he was like kidnapped as a child
By
um
clowns.
by clowns. Um ta 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 ta. And then the machine gun punch is what is used against
Mhm.
Domon. Fun fact, we'll go into this when we go into like designs later after we get
Okay.
through all this because there are designs and fun things there. Then
Yeah.
we get the a Knight's Pride. We get the Gundam Rose Stolen,
Mhm.
um, where the Neo France is like, hey, by the way, you're in winners bracket, so if you lose one, you don't we can't afford to keep fixing this, so you need to lose this match and then you can just finish it out in losers brackets, which I
Mhm.
thought was kind of funny.
Yeah.
And George is like, nah, bitch, I'm gonna steal that, and he uses his rose petal bits to
Mm.
try to beat Domon.
Yeah. Um.
uh
There's Sai Saichi's episode, which holy shit, that was heavy.
with the blazing dragon.
Yeah, because like he gets like a letter from his father or one that like his helpers were basically like keeping away from him because
Mhm.
they wanted to wait for him to like get older before he read that letter from his father, where you basically learn that his father died like a long time ago, like right when like Sai was like starting his training for the Gundam tournament, and he was basically just sort of like, okay, I now have to like stake everything on getting the Shaolin Temple like reinstated and revived, basically. So he was basically going to use like the dragon butterfly like move that he was able to learn.
Mhm.
But you then learn, oh wait, using this move kills you actually. And they were just sort of like, okay, you can't actually like use this. Sorry, I had to kill a fly real quick.
No, you're good.
Okay, it flew away. Oh well. Sorry. But what was I saying? The move would actually like kill him, so he had to basically so they basically all had to say like, okay, stop. You cannot actually use this move right now. We can't have you die here. Which
Oh,
is
it's like
like,
the hidden lotus, the lotus bloom from
yes,
Naruto, along with like Choji's ability.
I assume so. Yes, because I haven't gotten that far in Naruto, and I'm not
Oh,
picking it back up.
I'll send you that fight. It's actually pretty cool for Choji. Um, it's yeah. So and the other big thing here is all the Shuffle Alliance is now getting hyper mode.
Hmm.
So like Domon's like I can go Super Saiyan and none of you can is now no, they can all go Super Saiyan and they are also all a very actualized
Hmm.
form of Super Saiyan. Because
Yeah.
it's like no, they're fighting for what they believe in, not just because they're angry.
Hmm. And it just like
Um,
kind of puts all of them on Domon's level, which even though like Domon's our main character, he's like you kind of know he's the strongest, but like in terms of like I feel like actual like power scaling between the five, for lack of a better term, it's like kind of more even than you think. And I do
yes.
kind of like that since again, so used to something like Dragon Ball or Jojo or One Piece where you have characters who are like way strong and then the supporters basically.
Yeah, in this one especially none of the other characters feel like they're slouching.
Hmm.
They all just feel like they have other things going on in their lives other than martial arts.
Hmm.
Um, which is I enjoy because it gives us a lot of that we've glossed over a lot of play with like the entire backstory between Chibity and his girls.
Hmm.
And like, you know, oh, they were rough and tumble street kids and he's like, I like the cut of your jib, be on my team.
Hmm.
And then they're all like secretly mommies to him. Um and need to sing him to sleep and let him know it's gonna be okay.
Yeah.
Uh
That's
that's
going
a
to be
plot point.
insane for anybody who hasn't actually seen G Gundam, by the way.
But I didn't make it up. That was not that
You're
none of
not
that
making
was
it up.
a
I know you're not making it up, but like, imagine listening to this, not watching G Gundam, and just hearing, yeah, he picked up these four punk girls, and now they're basically his moms.
Go watch G Gundam, guys. It's a great show.
Oh
Highly
yeah,
recommend 10 out of 10.
yeah, I recommend it as well. Holy shit.
All right, so we get through all the fights, and
Mhm.
then Schwartz's last match, where I think he's fighting Master
Mhm.
Asia. No, who's he fighting?
No, he's fighting Domon.
That's right.
Yeah,
Um,
I kind of don't like that they just kind of spoil the premise of the episode in the title, which I get is like a Japanese thing. They care more about like how this is going to be Schwartz's last fight and not actually uh like what actually happens. But you basically do get like the news in these episodes that Schwartz is actually like a clone of Kyoji.
and so the whole point of this episode, like the
Mhm.
other like underlying is, Rain is kind of upset with how much time Domon is spending with Allenby, and Domon isn't picking up what Rain's putting down, that she might like Domon,
Hmm.
and he's just not with that. So
Yeah.
she's like, "Fuck you, I'm out," and she goes over to and like follows Schwartz, and Schwartz is like, "Well, I'm actually kind of doing this all by myself. You want to be on my
Hmm.
team now?" And she's
And
like, "Bitchin'."
and she gets her own mask.
She does, and her hair still can't like fits through the eye of it all.
Uh-huh.
So it's like, is that Rain? And it's like,
What
no,
do you
dipshit,
think?
it's not. Like,
No, it's Allenby. No, it's Argo Bolsky.
it's can't you tell by that massive frame that she has?
Hmm.
Um, yeah, and as you said, like it gets to be the fight, and we learn that the person behind the mask is a
Kyoji.
is is Kyoji. It's a DG clone. It's a Devil Gundam clone
Hmm.
of Kyoji.
But how
Um,
could that be? We ask, already knowing the answer.
and for that, we have to go all the way back to the beginning.
Yeah. So apparently, Domon wasn't really told the truth behind why both his dad was basically put into the Star Wars carbonite and why his
Cryosleep.
mom died. Yeah. And why
Yeah.
his mom died. He was just told point blank, hey, it was just your brother Kyoji has gone crazy, but actually that wasn't the case at all. Uh, basically, um, and I'm blanking. Okay, Ulube. I keep
Ulube, yep.
forgetting. I keep forgetting his name, but Ulube basically wanted control of the Devil Gundam for himself, so that way, basically, that Gundam could basically rule the universe for him for basically eternity. He has the plans to just take over everything, complete conquest. Everything's under him, and he has the Iron Fist.
And the other thing was the Devil Gundam actually had a different name, and I'm trying to find what it
Hmm.
was. Because it wasn't called the Devil Gundam until it fell from Earth. So the whole point of this Gundam was it it mixed like biology and then
Hmm.
engineering, so that way, hey, we could cure cancer. It has self recovery. It can help us fix Earth because
Yeah.
we've polluted the shit out of Earth with all of our wars, and we can do this. And Ilube comes in and goes, we could do this, or we could use this our way. And so Dobon's dad is like, hey, Kyoji, you should get out of here, don't let them have it, I trust you. And he leaves. Domon's mom gets shot, and then to silence everyone so no one can know what really happened,
Right.
it was, oh no, your father like fell ill or like broken heart, whatever it was. So we put him in cryo sleep to save his life, and we'll revive him and work on him. But you need to win this Gundam fight for us.
Yeah. Basically, he was just kind of fed a lie through the entirety of this, not kind of realizing that Kyoji was more or less just innocent, which I'm not sure how I felt about that twist at the time. I probably thought it was kind of convoluted, but looking back on it, it does actually like make a lot more sense, even though I do have my takes about Ilube, which we'll get to.
Okay.
Um I definitely like this backstory quite a bit. And I like how it kind of does flip a lot of what you knew from the beginning, just kind of on its head. Because now it's just sort of like, oh, Kyoji, this character who we were supposed to hate from the beginning, is now like not really that bad of a person. He was just made out to be that way.
Yeah, it was a very good conspiracy. Um,
Hmm.
and then of course, like right after we get, so let's see, so yeah, the Devil Gundam is revived
Yep.
and put on the island, where, hold on, this time around we're actually going to do a battle royale.
Hmm.
We're going to figure out where everyone's dropping, and we're going to do the final fight on this, on
Yep.
on this, and then they also start bringing back all the villains of the week in their updated
Mhm.
Gundams themselves.
Yep.
And the Shuffle Alliance now also has to that's the other big thing that we kind of glossed over. During all of the fights with Domon and the new Shuffle Alliance, all of them were saying like, "Hey, we can't follow you because we have our own things to do. So if you
Mhm.
want us to follow you, you have to beat us, and
Yeah.
then we'll help you out and do what we said we would do."
Mhm.
And so they all go on the island, fight off the new big bads because it's 2v2s, right? So like
Pretty
Domon
much.
is fighting Master Asia. It's Argo and
And
Sai
Sai
Shi.
versus Mikolo. And then we also get Chibity and George versus Chapman.
Yes. I really liked the
Mhm.
conversations between the Shuffle Alliance, like, because it's like, oh, these are the characters that they didn't fight.
Yeah.
So it's like Chibity's like, hey, I was supposed to fight you next. I'm kind of bummed I can't. And Argo's like, yeah, I don't want to really beat up a kid.
Mhm.
Um, and then George Desand and Chibity are like pouring liquor all over their
Yep.
Gundams.
Just because, like, and these kind of moments were like insanely melancholic, honestly. Because it's just sort of like you kind of just assume that like they're just gonna die after these fights because they gotta like sacrifice themselves. In fact, after we got like the fight between Mikolo and Argo and Sai, I definitely thought that Argo, Sai, and Mikolo were all just dead and that they were basically just like kind of gone because they do play it up quite a bit. Because when Sai Chi lands the final attack, his like helpers, they have prayer beads on them at all times and they start breaking once that happens, kind of symbolizing like, hey, Sai has like kind of left the world, plus he's using the move that kills you at the end. And
Yeah, it's and
I was like a bit kind of shocked that they would like actually go the route of like actually killing a child, but that doesn't happen actually. And that's like something that I'm a little bitter about, but not too bitter. Because
I wish
again,
the
Sai
imagery
is
was
my favorite
better.
character.
I wish the imagery was a little better
Hmm.
because you're right. It's like, nope, they all died. And it's kind of like, wow, you just kill don't worry about it. They're there for the parade in the next sequence. It's like, wait, what? You gave me the symbol that they died. Like the prayer beads
Hmm.
broke. All the different things happened. Um yeah, I do wish that it was done a little bit a little bit different, a little bit
Yeah.
better in that way. But that's a really small nitpick to be
Hmm.
like, hey, your
They should
imagery
have
versus what
died.
happened.
Damn it!
I need
Why didn't
Domo to
you?
lose all of his friends.
We need to kill a child.
Oh, don't. We'll do that. We'll get into that one later. I'll say go watch Iron Blooded Orphans. There you
Oh
go. It's
boy.
nothing. It's nothing but children's death.
Oh hell yes. Oh, I feel sorry for anybody listening to this in public without headphones.
That's fine. Um. So, and then we also get Master Asia's final battle,
Hmm.
which I
This one was kind of like my most anticipated fight that I knew just like kind of had to happen
okay.
because
H-
he
how'd you
was
feel
like,
about it?
honestly, it kind of left me heartbroken. And I mean that in a good way, I will say, cuz it's very obvious that like through fighting he basically kind of explains how he wanted the Devil Gundam to basically be used as like a source of good for planet Earth because you kind of see all over the place that like the world is kind of crumbling down and it's shitty to live on, even though a lot of people do still live on it. Um, because you have like the Eiffel Tower is now like all crooked at the top, and then you have like something like in Neo Hong Kong, there was like a bit of an episode where Domon and Master Asia were both just like walking around in like an underground like ruins, and he was saying that, hey, there's actually like a lot of uh underground ruins in a lot of cities around the world, and that's because this world is basically crumbling apart, but the Devil Gundam can actually be used to basically repair the world. I don't want you to like destroy it. I want you to basically pilot, be the new pilot for it, because I'm too old, I can't actually do it. I would basically die immediately. And you still see like Kyoji is in there, and you basically hear the explanation that, hey, the first thing that the first like opponent that fell in this Gundam tournament was Neo Germany's fighter. So he basically invaded Neo Germany's fighter with the Devil Gundam cells to basically make a clone of Kyoji, and that's basically what Schwartz Bruder is. And that's honestly like really devastating and fucked up, like to just say out loud like that, like Jesus Christ. But it is like a really like interesting backstory that like, okay, Master Asia did actually want the best for the Earth. Kind of wish he explained that to us, but I can also understand that like he definitely knew that like Domon would not believe any of us, or like wouldn't believe him if he did explain it. Does that make sense? I hope so.
Yes. No, it makes sense. And like some other context is Master Asia's with Neo Hong Kong and
Hmm.
Wong, who is the president, and he is like Pegasus level of like cartoon villainy.
Hmm.
For those of you who've watched like the original Yu-Gi-Oh, where he's like, I'm gonna set up Domon to fight this people because he said he'd go undefeated. Um, and Master Asia's like, "Hey, there's no honor in that. What are you doing?" And he goes, "If your pupil's as good as you say he is," and you every time that they have like a bickering match,
Hmm.
there's never a point where I'm like, Master Asia hates Domon or Master Asia is against Domon. Um, it's very much like, no, that's my student and I care for them. I trained them. I'm confident in their
Hmm.
abilities, but I also don't want to like set them up for failure. Um,
Yeah.
and we did like guys like a lot honestly a lot of this like the big points are the really cool parts of this.
Hmm.
Every episode can be broken down to like Domon goes here. Here's this Gundam. Domon wins.
Yeah.
Rinse, wash, repeat. Shuffle alliance. The part that I thought made Master Asia's like entire like backstory, like the payoff,
Hmm.
is he was already the King of Hearts when he entered the last Gundam Fighter tournament,
Yes.
went undefeated and won,
Hmm.
and he turned around and said, "This doesn't change anything. We're still doing the exact same damage to the planet that we said we were going to avoid doing by
Right.
having Gundam fights."
Hmm.
And the Shuffle Alliance ghosts, they force ghosts come back, and
Hmm.
they're like, "Hey man, we should have listened to you because we were there to because the whole point of the Shuffle Alliance is to make sure that war doesn't escalate and it kind of
Yeah.
always stays conventional."
Hmm.
And they were like, "You saw that even our logic was flawed and we should not be doing this."
Yeah. It's really good, and it also does kind of paint him pretty well, because like in the previous Hong Kong episodes, he is very much shown to be very much a fighter with dignity, because he doesn't like it when uh wait, hang on, sorry, he doesn't like it,
Wong.
yeah, when Wong basically uses kind of underhanded tactics to try to get Domon to lose a match. Like, I know there was one that was like a 2v2 where Domon and Allensby were fighting up against two other Gundams, and there was
It
like a
was
bunch of,
Neo Canada and Neo Russia.
no, not that one.
Oh, not that one.
I mean, there was another one where the two of them were fighting two other Gundams, and there was magnets underneath the arena that basically dragged Domon completely down,
Okay,
basically
I remember
making
what you're
him
talking
unable
about.
to move. And Wong is the one who like perpetrated that, and Master Asia was like, "What the fuck is wrong with you? This isn't a fair match." He's just like, "We want Domon to lose this. What are you talking about?" And it's just like, "Yeah, but he should like lose fairly." And
Yeah,
you
have him
definitely
have
get
him
like
lose
more
because he
moments
lost.
just like that throughout, painting Wong more as like the mustache twirler villain, and Master Asia kind of has like more depth to him than that. And I also just kind of love the whole like honorable fighter thing. I know you're watching JoJo yet again, but there is going to be a character that's like that, like in part two, that's really good, who is a fan favorite villain, by the way.
I'm excited to get into like JoJo. I'm about halfway through the first part now. Um,
Yay!
so I'm working between that. I've got a few things that I'm watching because I want to do more podcasty stuff.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, I think Master Asia, like they do a good job at always bringing something back full circle because it's like they never tell you why Master Asia like sides with the Devil Gundam, and
Yeah.
but he's also sick, whereas like everyone else who is sick is getting better quotation marks because of
Hmm.
the Devil Gundam and the DG cells. And he
Yeah.
looks at Domon and goes, "I never took the cells." He goes, "This has all just been me." And Domon goes, "I know, I can tell, I know."
Yeah.
and it's this very touching. And then Fushuki comes over and like cries, and Domon's like, "Go ahead, cry. This is gonna be the last cry that we give
Hmm.
for Master Asia. After this, like he will pass on, and
Hmm. And
we'll remember him."
they say the undefeated of the East School chant one last time in each
God,
other's
so
arms.
good.
It's honestly, I think that's the actual death that like got to me the most. Which honestly, in hindsight, there aren't that many deaths, but this one was the one that got to me.
The master dying in a good way and not just like the self-sacrificing way is a
Hmm.
great trope for all of like kung fu movies. And I
Yeah.
do think as campy as the show is for Gundam, I think the emotional notes that it implores and tries to hit, it does not miss. It just goes, we can hit this emotional note. It could be silly and slapstick, but that emotional note will hit,
Mhm.
and that's going to be the end of it.
Yep. And
Um,
goddamn, does it hit here?
and then speaking of emotional notes hitting, it after that, it feels like it's almost a sprint to the end
Oh
of the
yeah.
story. Oh,
Honestly, I would have been fine if it just ended with Master Asia dying. If I'm being honest, not to say that like the rest of the episodes are bad or anything, but Master Asia, he was the main villain that I wanted taken down from like episode one, basically.
Uh, so and this is the other part where this show kind of subverts itself.
Hmm.
Um, because I told you that there's always a Char character,
Yeah.
and the entire show it's like, oh, it's Schwartzbruder. Schwartzbruder is going to turn out to be evil. He's going to be your Char character, and then it's like he's not. Okay,
Mhm.
who's the only other character wearing a mask? Oh, by the way, it's a metal reflective mask.
And it's a Lube.
It's a Lube, the very kind, like supportive military industrial complex guy that
Hmm.
really wants Domon to just be successful and happy.
Yeah, that's all he wanted.
That's all he wanted. He there were no ulterior motives,
Hmm.
and he does his like, the Devil Gundam's still there. Cool, I'm gonna go get that, and I'm gonna figure we know how we're gonna bring it back.
Hmm.
And they're like, well, we've got two ways to bring it back. Obviously, boys can't pilot the Devil Gundam. That's the problem.
It has to be a girl.
Because Mother Earth,
Hmm.
subtleties for cowards. um,
So, but in our sausage fest of a cast, who could possibly be the woman to pilot a Devil Gundam? Are we
oh,
gonna force
Allenby.
George to sand? Are we just gonna force George to Sand to finally transition? I mean, that's like
He
a
is
really good tongue twister, honestly.
so I rewatched this because I was like, I'm having Mark watch this. Let me rewatch it so that way I can remember it beat for beat. And I'm watching it, and I'm like, yeah, that's George. And Mrs. Play goes, wait, what? I was like, yeah, that's George DeStand. That's a guy? I was like, yeah, that's a guy. Is this like a really progressed? No, he's just a guy.
Yeah, he's just a dude with
Really?
long hair. Has she never seen a boy with long hair before?
Not that effeminate. She thought maybe he was transitioning. Japan was just being really progressive in the early 90s.
Oh my god. Not even
Like,
Sailor
good old
Moon could get
Japan.
away with this. You think Gundam's gonna be able to get away with this?
Oh, yeah.
My god.
So George is the female pilot for no. So and we get to kind of learn more of the other backstory there, where it's
Hmm.
like not only was like Ilube coming in like, oh, I'm gonna use this, but what was it? It's Dr. Mikamura,
Yeah, Dr.
Rain's
Mikamura, Rain's father,
father, was
who,
also in on it.
yeah, he knew from the beginning that Ulube was basically trying to take over the world, basically. And that the Devil Gundam falling to Earth was basically kind of part of the plan, essentially.
And
And
all of this because Domon's father walked in and looked at the Gundam that he was making. He goes, "Oh, that's a pretty good Gundam. You kind of like messed up. Why does it only work when he's angry? It should
mhm,
use all parts of the emotional spectrum. That way it can be, it doesn't just need an angry like child soldier who can't regulate its emotions.
mhm.
Anyone could pilot it and do something."
He was so
And he's
jealous of uh Mr. Kashu's also his last name really is just Kashu, like the peanut.
yeah, it
But
is.
anyway, Mr. Kashu just basically made better Gundams than Mr. Mikamura. So he kind of just like had that kind of seething jealousy and was just kind of okay with putting uh Dr. Kashu in just this cryo sleep, which
And
which once Rain learned about that, she was just kind of just guilt trodden to the point where she basically told Domon, didn't even tell Domon, she told Allenby, who ended up telling Domon that
yeah,
she
like
is
gives him a letter.
basically leaving with her father to just live in the colonies, that she's never going to talk to Domon ever again because she just feels so guilty that of what her dad did. She kind of just assumed Domon would not want anything to do with her. So she's in the space colony with with Dr. Mikamura and Ulube, and uh-oh, Devil Gundam needs a girl pilot.
And I like how Mikamura was like, "Yeah, we're up here to live in exile." And he goes, "Yeah, I need your daughter." And he's like, "I don't know if I'm comfortable with how you're saying that." And he goes, "Oh, it's not for what you think. I'm gonna shove her in the Gundam, and
That's
I'm
arguably
gonna force her
worse.
to do that." And he goes, "I kind of wish it was the first thing." And he's like, "Okay, I need to do that." And the other, just to like throw back to that, this is where you learn that the Shining Gundam that Rain used and
Mhm.
the Rising Gundam that Domon started with were both
Other
Dr.
way around.
Mikamura's. Huh?
Rain used the Rising Gundam.
Did she use? Oh yeah,
No.
Shining Finger. The Rising Gundam was Dr. Mikamura's, and the Shining Gundam was Dr. Mikamura, but the God Gundam was Dr. Kashu's.
Hmm.
And so that's why it's just the upgrade
Yep.
because plot. Um, And so, yeah, Ilube kind of walks up to the Devil Gundam and goes, "Hey, spit out Kyoji. Look at this woman and
Take her in.
take her. She
Hmm.
can be the mother for Mother Earth."
Hmm. And
Um,
that does end up happening. And then you just see a bunch of wire tentacles basically go up from the colonies all the way down to the Earth, basically
Oh,
planting themselves in them, and basically an all-out war is going to happen because Alube has basically decided, you know what? Let's not have this Gundam competition every 4 years. We'll just make all the decisions in the universe for all of you. Fuck you. We're
and
fascists now.
I love the fact that this is where the camp starts. One, Lube offers up a woman and tentacles appear. And it's like, Japan, I
Ah.
don't think that's how it needed to go, but nope, that's how it goes immediately. Um, and then we go, okay, what else can we do with this? The United States, you know what? Japan, we told you to stop acting a fool. If we need to do this again, we will.
Activate the Statue of Liberty cannon. That's definitely like the moment that got to me the most. Like, shut up.
It was like, it was somebody over in Japan going like, who would try to tell us to stop? It would be America. Fuck them in particular.
Oh man, I can't wait for more of Chainsaw Man to get animated so you can kind of see that there is a parallel here.
Oh, good. Thank God. I
Yeah.
need more like Japan telling America that it's dumb. So yeah, the Statue of Liberty fires the breaks away from the colony, and Chippity's like, "That's the strongest weapon America has. It's the Statue of Liberty freedom cannon. Watch this, guys."
And it does literally nothing.
And then gets backhanded into oblivion,
Hmm.
and it's like I think it's like Neo New York is what is Neo America gets
Yeah.
wiped out.
Fucking insane.
And yeah, so now it's like all the Gundam fighters are like, oh shit, we need to find a way into space. And Domon's like, how do I get into space? I have no idea. And in the distance you see a white horse
Hmm.
get
Fumi
into a white
Psyche.
unicorn Gundam.
Hmm.
And
And
Master Asia says, "Go."
it's honestly, I say that this part is just a really dumb decision after dumb decision from like a writing perspective, but it's fun kind of dumb. So
It really is.
I'm just for this. I'm here for your crazy insane ride, G Gundam, whatever it may
Where
entail.
where it's like, okay, Domon gets to space and he's like, "Oh my god, this is a lot." And they're like, "All the other Gundams show up. How did you get here?" "Oh, we used all the other spaceships." And it's
Mhm.
just Gundams holding on to a ship
Yeah.
flying into space. Just like cartoon rockets.
Hmm.
Someone's kid. What if they just held on to them?
Yeah.
Um and so that's the scene where you can see the Gundam Wing Zero, not the
Hmm.
Gundam Wing Custom, which is the one with the actual angel wings.
Yeah.
The RX-78's there, the RX-98 New Gundam. There are just a lot of Gundams. It's like, no, that Gundam there is just the Gundam,
Yeah.
from the original series.
Hmm.
So this is where it's like, okay, call in all the reserve Gundams. All right, man,
Hmm.
here we go. And you're just like, what are we, guys? What are we doing?
Yeah. You have like this fucking eldritch horror ass looking Gundam that's just Frankenstein between a bunch of the Gundams from the old series. Meanwhile, all the like Gundam fighters that are willing to stand up to it are just hugging rockets going into space in order to fight this thing. Like, to compare this to something like Jojo yet again, this is like when you find out that the sun itself is a stand. And that, like,
What?
yeah, there's a stand that's just literally the sun. And it is just a fight in part three, and it's just like, God, this is stupid. But you know what? I'm down for this. This is just like the stupid that I signed up for, and I'm for this. Let's keep doing this shit. Or like when you hear like any like crazy upcoming like JoJo plot point, and you're just like, that's stupid. There's no way that's going to happen. There's no way the sun's a stand. There's no way a transmission tower is a stand user. And it's just like, no, it is actually. And it's fucking awesome and stupid, but awesome. And it's just where you just end up like as a fan. You just see it and you're like, God damn it. I can't hate this. This is just fun.
And I do think that it's it's so good.
It
Um
is really good. Like,
and
genuinely, I say, like, some of this stuff is dumb, but there's still genuinely good writing to be had here. I love everything that happens between Domon and Rain in this section. It's so fun and good and well written because you do actually get that confession at the end that Domon does actually love Rain. And that is kind of what snaps her out, which, sure, it's cheesy, but it's the
I
kind of cheesy I like.
it's one of those things where I'm like I'm here if it's like, hey, I'm gonna pour my like my final how I feel about this towards the
Mhm,
end of it. And it's like, no, they've been through a lot. They've been like together since they were kids.
mhm,
Um, and I actually wanted to let you know. So this episode aired 1 week before Gundam Wing. So
mm.
a lot of the Gundam Wing mobile suits debuted in that episode
Oh my
before
god.
they were officially revealed to be the Gundam Wing that like we would see.
Wait, is
Uh
Wing like a prequel series to this?
God, okay. So, um, let me look that up real quick
Sorry to
because I
like
don't want.
make you break out the Gundam timeline.
No, you're okay. Actually, that'll be the easiest way to do it. Um, it's this is where, of course, it gets like super weird because you've got the Universal Century, um,
Mhm,
which is the main timeline, and then that's Iron Blood Orphans. That's Endless Waltz. Oh, that's the after century timeline, which
okay.
is
Of
it.
course.
So it has nothing to do with the Universal Century. It is
Mhm.
its own timeline to watch. However, if you are looking for
Yeah.
something to watch this Christmas, you should watch Gundam Wing and then Gundam Endless Waltz because it's a Christmas
Oh,
movie.
okay.
Um, but yeah, it's so and they do that for a lot of these. So they hid
Mhm,
a lot of Easter eggs in there.
mhm,
And I actually like that episode when I was younger and watching it, like I was like, "Oh, that's how you know you like a girl."
mhm.
Or how you know you like someone because you would go face down a monster and tell them to your face that you like them.
Yes.
Because like I even showed like I would commission art, and I'm thinking I'm gonna do this for Valentine's Day
Oh.
of the final pose of Domon and Rain as
Mhm.
Mrs. Play and I, because I think it's
Aw,
such a
that would be
really
cute.
cool yeah, it's such a really cool
Mhm.
pose to me. And they use the last move, which is like the Haidoken
Yeah.
or the Kamehameha that like Master Asia teaches them,
Mhm.
but they do it like these hands of ours are glowing red. And it's like in all
They're
I think it's like
telling
all
us
of
to
our hope and
grasp
love.
happiness.
Yeah, and it's I'm like,
It's
okay,
like,
this is
this is great. Kill
and
that
I'm
devil
actually like
Gundam till it's dead.
I'm actually like I'm looking at it now. Like it's such a cool image.
Mhm.
Um that I'm just like and then like when they do they throw the burning hand and both their hands are together because she's like, no, we're stronger together than we are apart. And
Mhm.
it's like, okay, and then they blow a heart-shaped hole through it.
Yep.
um and Allenby's like, Domon, you need to go tell her what you think of her because I'll never be able to not love you unless I know that you're
Mhm.
um uh unless I know that like you're gonna be with her. Um,
Yeah.
oh, it's so good.
It's really good. But yeah, that is kind of how G Gundam ends. It ends with her like having a confession, and then the Devil Gundam basically dies essentially, and
And then
Blue Bay is
everyone
also dead.
Yes. And then everyone flies off and we get to see like kind of brief like flits of where they're going.
Mm-hmm.
Um so like of course like Domon and Rain, this is where we see Argol and Natasha like fly off,
Mm-hmm.
and if you look at him he's got like red lipstick on the cheek,
Yeah.
um because she's like, "Oh, you're not the monster I thought."
Mm-hmm.
George the Sand and Maria fly
Uh
off together.
yep. And then Sai Saichi has like the picture of the girl he was crushing on, and he's like giving it a kiss, and it's basically implied that he's gonna go like see her at the very least.
Yeah, he's gonna go find her, and I like
Mm-hmm.
that like the monks hit him on the head, and then like the girl like puts up her hands like she's in on it. Thank you, spouse.
Oh,
My spouse brought me soup because she
yo!
made dinner.
Shout outs to Soup, and I'm sorry it's not Sippy Soup Saturday.
Is sippy soup Saturday a thing?
It is for
What's
me because there's a GIF
who's
like
that? Oh,
associated with it. Hang on, I'll find it from
okay.
yesterday.
Hi, Mark.
Hi.
He says hi. Um. Uh. And so now, like, we did hit the 2 hour mark, so this has been a
Mhm.
long one to cover that.
Yeah.
But I think now what we need to do is to end this. We need to go into the important stuff.
Oh
All
yeah.
right. Which Gundam was your favorite?
My favorite Gundam. It's gonna be corny sounding, but I do think like the Dragon Gundam is my favorite Gundam, just from a
Okay.
design perspective. I think the whole idea of your arm can turn into a dragon that can shoot fire is fucking cool as hell. And as much as like I do have like kind of an edgy little bitch side, I do also like the Devil Gundam just because it's just a sick design. Again, I like Eldritch horror monsters. And then for the sillies, I like the Windmill Gundam from Neo Netherlands, which we didn't really talk about because I just love like a lot of the more silly designs for Gundams, and
Uh,
like
so,
it's so funny just to have that. Like, why is it like that?
and at the end when they're just like, throughout, Neo Netherlands is coming in with like 6 platoons of, and they're just a bunch of windmills, and you're like,
Yeah,
wait, you just all of your windmills are just Gundams, like,
it's
um,
genuinely like the funniest like Gundam design, I think. Although there are like other like silly ones that you see in Hong Kong that are also like really good.
and some of them do like really really good stuff at like a Neo Kenya. What
Mhm.
about the Tequila Gundam?
Oh, funny you mention it. Um, so basically, when I was still like watching through the series, a few nights after I watched like the Neo Mexico episode and a few other episodes, I get like a DM on a Discord server that I'm on with a bunch of friends with one of my friends who's like not like an anime fan or anything like in the traditional sense. Like he has like a few niche anime that he likes, but he's just like, guys, I have a question for the Gundam fans. Is this real? And then he shows up a picture of the Tequila Gundam, which for those who haven't seen it is like a Gundam typically as it you would expect, but it has like a poncho and a sombrero on its head. And I just had to like look at him and say, yes, this is real. This is from the one Gundam anime that I've actually seen. This is actually a real thing. And he's
It's
just
got
like,
like its cactus shoulder and everything else.
yeah. I think it's a funny design. I can see how it can be like seen as like pretty stereotypical,
Oh
but
yeah, it's.
yeah. But like at the same time, for a lot of these silly Gundam designs, which ones aren't stereotypical in a way?
I mean, yeah. Uh, Neo Kenya, Neo Mongolia. Like Neo Kenya is like, oh, it has a spear and it's wrapped in a zebra cloth.
Neo Greece
Um,
is the Zeus Gundam and it has a chariot.
and I actually, so that one I was like, it felt like it got like it was silly, but
Hmm.
it got more of reverence
Yeah.
than like Neo Kenya or Neo Mexico, where it
Hmm.
was just like, no, this is what we know about you.
Mhm.
Um,
The Neo Indio one was like the Viper Gundam. I thought that was actually like kind of like cool, even though it's like not like your traditional Gundam type. But yeah, if I had to like pick a top three, Dragon Gundam, Devil Gundam, Windmill Gundam. I think that
okay.
covers all the bases between like Aura, Edgy Little Bitch, and uh Sillies.
I actually liked the Mandala Gundam from Neo Nepal.
That one's really
Um,
good. And it's also like kind of wild to think about like the ending does kind of imply that Neo Nepal and Allenby are like both gonna like get together.
yeah, like I think they're gonna go wander together.
Yeah, I think
Um,
they're gonna be besties, personally. Because I think there is like a massive age difference between the two.
yeah, until they go. Actually, no, it's only like 8 months because it's an anime.
Yeah,
Um,
Argo Bolsky is 26 somehow.
yeah, he's prison ages you, man.
Yeah.
Um, do you have a favorite Gundam summoning? Because like I every time it happens, I do the snap and I would do the point, and Mrs. Play's like, God, you're such a nerd. Because
I'm
I'm like that.
I'm a similar way. I like it when Domon does shout Gundam,
So good.
and then you get that dun 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 dun.
Dun, dun. All right. So what else do we have? So we got those. You got your Dark Army. Do you have a favorite crest for the Shuffle Alliance?
Favorite crest from the Shuffle Alliance. Basic choices, but either King of Hearts or Ace of Clubs.
Ace of Clubs was a good one. Yeah.
Shout out to Queen of Diamonds, or not Queen of Diamonds, but Queen of Spades, because like in a standard deck of playing cards, the spade is always my favorite suit. Thank you, Balatro.
The Suit of Death, the lowest suit. I think
You
yeah,
say it's
Heart's the
the
highest.
lowest.
And
You say
it.
it's
So
the
if you
lowest,
have
but like Balatro's one of the best suits.
if you have four royal flushes,
Hmm.
I think the Hearts always wins,
Oh, okay.
which is weird because the Hearts is also the Suicide King. So
Mm,
take what you will with
well,
that one.
yeah. Anyway, I don't ever play Royal Flush decks in Balatro, so I'm
I don't play real poker. I'm just like,
yeah.
what? Do you...
I run full house strats. If you don't like that, fuck off.
I probably just need to play Balatro. I haven't played it at all.
Oh, it's like
Um,
crack if you're autistic.
yeah, I know, and that's why I'm like, I'm not gonna.
Oh,
I've got. Do you see how many RPGs are coming out this year? I
I
have
know.
such limited time. How did you feel about the portrayal of America in the Maxter Gundam?
uh I thought the portrayal of the America in the Maxer Gundam was pretty good. I kind of do think it was a bit stereotypical how Chibity was just talking about the American dream and whatnot, and not really elaborating on what that is. But look, it works. I'd rather have that than like anything else that's like stereotypically American, where we're all just fat eating burgers or something.
Well, it was also for the longest time, and I think they changed it when they weren't sure how they were gonna have. I think originally it was supposed to be like Neo England was supposed to fight with a sword as well, and they ended up
Ooh.
changing it to like a rifle to
Yeah.
say that it's dishonorable. And then anytime that Chibity like kind of has like a bitch moment, he pulls out the gun. Like he can't fight honorably. It's like, oh, I'm losing in this fight that I talked all this smack gun.
Gun.
Um, and I like the fact that it's supposed to be like it's a football player that turns into a boxer. I
Mhm.
think that's a lot of fun.
I think that's also like a lot of fun. Again, like we could also like go into like how each like fighter is treated within their own country, and I do kind of think it's interesting how like Jiminy Crockett is basically like a celebrity in Neo America.
Yeah, he Yeah, everyone else,
Mhm.
I think, well, George Desand is close to that as well,
George
but no,
Sand
everyone
was
else
like
is.
nobility. I wouldn't call him a celebrity. I would call him like he's like a noble, like a royal.
Damn royal family.
Yeah.
Um, did you have a least favorite Gundam design?
Least favorite Gundam design? I'm not sure. I don't think I really have a least favorite. I think like my least favorite ones would probably be the ones that are like just kind of boring looking. Like I think the initial one for Neo Italy was like kind of boring. Maybe that one's my least favorite.
Hmm, well, that's all fair. But yeah, so you've watched your first Gundam,
Yes.
uh, which, like I said, congratulations. This is every beat of every Gundam.
Yeah.
Um, I'm glad that you liked it.
Hmm.
To let everyone else know, one of these stretch goals. So we are doing this for Extra Life. This will actually come out, I believe, uh, either the weekend before or the weekend of Extra Life.
Uh-huh.
No, it'll come out the weekend before. It'll be out on the first.
Yes.
Um,
I did it just in time.
just in 6 months late, but just in
Yeah.
time for the next one.
But
So
to
the
address
goal.
that, I'm sorry. I moved and then I had like a job scare and then the place that I moved to like lost Wi-Fi like kind of irregularly, and the worst part was like a week where like Wi-Fi was just gone. But I'm glad
Oh,
I managed to like get all of this done this week basically.
I am glad that you did too.
Mhm.
Um, uh, oh, is that what this year is? Oh, okay, that's. I think it's like $700 or $800.
Mhm.
Is going to be another. Hey, you and I are gonna like watch a weird series.
Uh-huh.
Um, but to be fair to you, because I'm dragging you through a couple different series right now, I am watching Jojo.
Yep.
So I will get through the first season of Jojo, so that way you and
Mhm.
I can talk JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, and probably then at least go into season two. If season two does not hook me, then I don't know what will.
Okay. That's fair.
Because that's the season people are like, no, that's where it starts. Like that's where like everyone's like, nah, this is where it's
I
really
think
good.
that's a bit disingenuous, admittedly.
Um, most people when I kind of like talk about Hamon and how I'm like towards it, they're like, yeah, it like it loses itself very quickly when it gets to stands. Um,
Yeah. But I will say Hamon does get like kind of interesting in part 2. And I
okay,
love part 2, honestly. Part 2 has my favorite JoJo.
that's Josuke, right?
No, that's Joseph.
It's not the one with the hat.
No, that's Jotaro.
Jotaro's not in part two.
No.
Oh, huh. Well, I don't know a lot about JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, so we're gonna learn ourselves some stuff about JoJo.
Yeah,
Um,
for $700 for Extra Life, you said?
Yeah, so we are, to let everyone know now, as of recording this, which is October 12th, we are at $555.
Ooh.
So $145 away from that. And we are also still have our $2,500 goal from next year. So if you guys would like to donate, please donate, share within your servers. We've
Mhm.
got pictures with QR codes, things like that. So anyone who would like to donate is more than welcome to. Mark, thank you so much for hitting this stretch goal with us, and I look
Anytime.
forward to doing a
And
JoJo one
yes.
with you as
I
well.
can't wait for like a JoJo episode between the two of us.
We will have JoJo, and we will also have One Piece, probably very close and very soon
Mm,
in November. So
yeah.
you guys can stay away for that.
Mhm.
But yeah, if you guys enjoy this, check us out on all social medias. No longer Twitter, so Blue Sky, YouTube. You can follow us over on Twitch where we do some streaming.
Mhm.
Podcast available on your podcast platform of choice. Mark, what are you up to?
So basically I said this like last time, but it's still going and it's still going to be going by the time this goes up. I'm doing a daily draw challenge in where every day I advance the little guy agenda and draw a Chow from Sonic Adventure every day. And you can see that on my Blue Sky
I
account.
think you hit mute.
I hit mute. What the fuck? Can you hear me?
I can hear you now.
Okay. Anyway, fuck. I'm basically doing a daily draw challenge on my Blue Sky. I am drawing the Chow from Sonic Adventure every day until I basically decide not to do it anymore, which that's probably not going to be for like another couple months at least. You can find me on Blue Sky at Chainsaw Mark.
So totally not Mark.
No, that's somebody else. God damn it. Chainsaw Mark. We have a Chainsaw Man movie coming out at the end of the month, okay? Damn it. Do not
Oh, do
disrespect
we?
me like that. Yes, we have the
Uh,
Reze movie.
dude, I've missed so many movies. I wanted to see Tron too, and I haven't seen Tron. I don't know if I'm going to see that yet.
I hear the Tron movie is really bad.
I I I I, I like Tron, man.
I'm sorry, but David Leto did let you down this time.
It's Tron in time. Remember, you're all winners out there. Take care of your friends here and
I'm
elsewhere,
sorry.
and have a fantastic rest of your day, everybody.
Night.
Don't be